here we are presenting you Sita Ramam, which you can watch it with your loved ones, or you can hold their hand, hug them, sit, watch the movies, and it's just like this is totally a kind of film that I would want to watch with like my Ram.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, where's your Ram, Mrunal? Everyone wants to know.
I also looking for him. Shah Rukh Khan, I would say Sir has, the benchmark he has set so high
Yeah.
for any guy that the definition of romance, like if anybody tries to do something romantic to us, and if it is not that level, we be like, huh, or whatever. If it has to be, it has to be that level, or you just don't do it. For me, it's all challenges. Like I would love to take up all these challenges. I want to look hot, I want to look sweet, I want to look gharelu, I want to perform, I want to be that artsy. I want to be a part of everything. I don't want to be that stereotype actor who's only doing masala films or who's only
Right.
doing artsy films. I want to do a mix of all. I think Pipa, at that point of time, I think 2.5 years ago is when I heard the story and I wanted to be a part of this film. And what excited me was my relationship in the film. I'm playing Ishan's sister.
Right.
And I think it's high time for us to break that myth. So that person was like, you're praising another actress. And I was like, yes. So she's
Hmm.
like, uh, this is not something that I've seen before. And I was like, really? Is this what happens? And I was like, I'm incredibly proud of
Yeah.
Alia, and I look up to her, and she's like, Mrunal, you're not getting my point. I said, well, in that case, I don't want to understand what it is because I want to speak my mind, and I'm not somebody who would get insecure about others' success.
Hi, Mrunal.
Hi, what's up, Titas? You good?
So, first of all, big congratulations on the super success of Sita Ramam.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you.
Yeah. On a very serious note, I was bawling like towards the end of it when I watched. I was like, after so long, we got to see this, quintessential love saga, which we don't get to see so often these days, Hannah.
Hannah, I swear to God, and I'm so happy that finally we could present you this beautiful love story, Sita and Ram, their journey. And you know how hopelessly romantic person I am, such a hopeless romantic person I am. So I needed, like, I myself wanted to watch something that is filled with romance, but I'm happy to be a part of one year. Like I've grown up watching Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol, Shah Rukh sir's movies, and it's really overwhelming when you read the tweets where people say we finally have Shah Rukh and Kajol back as Dulkar and Mrunal,
Wow, that's a
and
big
I'm
compliment.
like, I was like, what? This is huge. But I feel like romance is such an integral part of our lives, and especially after COVID, and the relationships were like breaking, and people are facing a lot of issues in their personal lives. So finally, here we are presenting you Sita Ramam, which you can watch it with your loved ones, or you can hold their hand, hug them, sit, watch the movies, and it's just like this is totally a kind of film that I would want to watch with like my Ram.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, where's your Ram, Mrunal? Everyone wants to know.
I also looking for him.
No, but on a serious note, how has your perception of romance changed throughout making this film? Are you also somebody seeking for that eternal love?
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. I mean, who isn't? Everyone is.
Yeah.
Uh, and also, like a lot of friends of mine who are a big Shah Rukh Khan fan, they also say that Shah Rukh Khan, I would say Sir has, the benchmark he has set so high
Yeah.
for any guy that the definition of romance, like if anybody tries to do something romantic to us, and if it is not that level, we be like, huh, or whatever. If it has to be, it has to be that level, or you just don't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody. Um, I don't know, yeah. It's a very tricky question. The definition of love for me, it's Shah Rukh Khan, and an ideal couple should be what I watch it in movies. Yeah, like it's कभी कभी जब when you watch his films, you be like, क्या ऐसे होगा? क्या ऐसा हो सकता है?
Yeah.
Will there be anyone who would love me as exactly the way Raj loves? I mean, Shah Rukh Khan. Yeah. So, I don't know what to say. I
Yeah.
am. I really wish like there were scenes in the movie, in our Sita Ramam.
Hmm.
There's a bathtub scene, and uh,
Yes.
it's something really funny that happened that day on set. Like Ram, I'm saying Dulkar and I'm sitting in the bathtub, and we are like figuring it out how
Yeah.
to shoot this scene because it's very difficult. It's very tricky. There is water, there are cameras,
Hmm.
and I cannot open my eyes while I'm
Yeah.
in the water. So all of that was going on in my head. I was really tensed. I was very nervous. And today when I watch that scene and when people talk about that scene, they're like, "Oh, how romantic." I was like, I know what I went through. It
Yeah.
was so difficult, and sometimes, like I think I was like, लोगों को ये romance. I mean, I don't want to break their myth, but
Yeah.
it takes a lot of efforts uh, to be there. Like to be able to create those extraordinary moments.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you experienced something well in your life, something close to that ever?
No, yeah. I think I'm the one who's that romantic. Like I have done something extraordinary for people,
Hmm.
but nothing, yeah.
Well, here's hoping. Sita Ramam देखने के बाद तो I'm sure you will get definitely somebody, because एक तो you looked so beautiful, the lovely saris that Sita slash Noor Jahan had.
Yes.
I mean, beautiful, है ना?
I must give the credit to Sheetal Sharma, who's a costume,
Hmm.
who designed my entire look, who did the entire film. And oh my God, that man, he's got such beautiful vision. And my entire team who just made Sita look so effortless, like Lochan, Laksh, and Sheetal, they came together. They used to have these meetings where they would sit down with like Madhubala's pictures, Sharmila Tagore's pictures, Gayatri Devi's pictures.
Yeah.
It was the kind of study and the effort that they have put into this character is just incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Right. Since we are talking so much about Shah Rukh, I mean, we all love him. I think all women love him. Have you ever actually met him and told him the kind of things that you're telling me today about him?
I met him, but I don't, no word came out. I was, I was, I was speechless.
Yeah.
I met Shah Rukh sir during the screening of Tufan. We were lucky
Yeah.
enough and fortunate enough to show him the film before the release. And it was lovely to spend time with him, to know more about him. And it was wonderful when Sir saw the movie and he was telling me that how much he liked, enjoyed Ananya on
Hmm.
screen
Hmm.
and Aziz. So I mean, I was looking into his eyes and I was like, how do I tell him you're the reason why I'm even standing here? And I was like, I'm sure like a lot of people must have told him that. But I remember taking a selfie with Sir, and I have like this moist eyes, and you know how
Oh,
emotional I am.
yes.
So I was controlling. But I just told him one thing, that sir, I absolutely adore you. I love your work, and inshallah, I can't wait to share my screen space with you. So he just said inshallah, and I was like,
Yay, hope that happens. I'm also praying for you.
oh, please pray for me.
Yeah. But Mrunal, coming to the box office success of this film, Tufan and Josie, it gave you a lot of critical acclaim. Oh, your performance was really good. But when it comes to the performance commercially, they had an underwhelming performance because the expectations were really high from these films. Was
Hmm.
this kind of success needed? Do you think it was needed for you at this stage in your career with Sita Ramam?
I think more than commercial success, uh, I think that an actor should get what he or she deserves.
Yeah.
And I felt like maybe the validation that an actor craves for, I haven't received that yet.
Hmm.
And I received it through Sita Ramam. But it's also the role, yeah, the role. Like I don't think of I have ever gotten a chance to play a character like Sita.
Yeah.
It is so meaty, where I've gotten a chance to do Kathak. I have actually gotten that opportunity to express with my emotions, with my expressions. I think this was the character which had the caliber of,
Right.
everything. It was like an entire package where, I could perform, I could dance, I had two shades in the film. It was a meaty role, the titular role, also a
Right.
role which many actresses would want to be a part of. Like they would
Hmm.
want to play this character. And I feel like I haven't gotten that opportunity yet. And I think through Sita Ramam, people could actually see that what is my caliber. And it
Yeah.
was almost shocking because people only thought that I'm capable of doing films like Love Sonia, which is in a very artsy zone.
Right.
But now today, when I see the kind of video montages that fans have been making, they add that this girl is capable of looking vulnerable, at the same time she can look feisty also, and
Right.
through the performances, through the looks, it's not just I have discovered about myself that I can uh, I don't want to sound like a self-obsessed person, but I feel like for me it's all challenges. Like I would love to take up all these challenges. I want to look hot, I want to look sweet, I want to look gharelu, I want to perform, I want to be that artsy. I want to be a part of everything. I don't want to be that stereotype actor who's only doing masala films or who's only
Right.
doing artsy films. I want to do a mix of all.
Hmm.
I just want one thing in life, and that is to be known as a versatile actor. I want to entertain my audience. I want to give them something new every day.
Hmm.
Um and it's very overwhelming when people call you by the character name you play. They're like, hey, Sita, Sita, that's Sita, or that's Sonia, or that's Supriya, or that's the Lakme girl. So it just makes me really happy. Like, uh, and what would anyone want? Any actor? I mean, this is all we want. We want the love from the audience. We want our work to be appreciated, and we want the films that we be a part of to become a cult. Like it's beautiful when the younger generation or younger actors reach out to me and say that, hey, Mrunal, ma'am, we watched your film or we studied your film.
Wow.
That's a huge compliment for me.
Yeah.
I mean, लोगों से कभी कभी लोग कहते हैं कि you need to be a part of like I'm happy that I was a part of a good film. Like I don't know how well or it how good or bad it performed on commercially box
Yeah.
office wise, but I know for a matter of fact that I can stand there out in public and say proudly that I've been a part of a good film.
Hmm. Like you said, Sita has become like this solid parameter for you. Uh, in terms of how you want your career ahead to look like. Uh, is there a game plan going on from here? Because the expectations right now, I'm sure from yourself also, you have your expectations set really high after this.
Yeah, and I'm really scared, Tita. So I'm really scared because I don't know what to do next. I mean, I don't know whatever I do in future, will that cross Sita Ramam's benchmark, the kind of standards that it has already set.
Yeah.
So I am really scared right now because I have to be very careful as to what I choose next. And fortunately, whatever films that I've been a part of, I'm really happy. But Sitaramam is once in a blue moon film. Like it's that great role, that great character that not all actors get
Hmm.
constantly. Like, and I'm sure like I will have to work extremely hard to get a role like Sita Ramam in future.
Yeah. So will we be able to see you in more South films? There's a rumor that you're doing another Telugu film with the makers of Sita Ramam. Is that true?
That is true. I mean, I would, even though they have not offered me a film yet, I would
Yeah.
love to be a part of Vajayanti films.
Yeah.
We are thinking of something nice and extraordinary. And yes, if it is a South film, it has to be with Vajayanti films. It has to be with that sir, because my experience with that sir has been so incredibly amazing. He's taught me so many things. I felt like I was a child when I started Sita Ramam, and I've grown up while this film. There are so many ups and downs that we've gone through. There was COVID. We couldn't film we had to call off the shoot because there were COVID cases, and lockdown was happening. And mm, I believe that when people make movies, they just make it. It's not, they just don't make movies, they make cinema. And
Yeah.
they're very rare people that I have met in my life who make movies for, because they're so passionate about it. And
Yeah.
that's what I've loved. That's what I love about that Saab and that sir and Hanu sir, that they're extremely passionate about the films that they've made and they are making. So
Yeah.
yes, you will see me in South, in Telugu industry doing more films, and I can't wait to share it with you all what it is.
But it's happening. That's that much we know for sure.
It is happening, but when, that I don't
Correct.
know.
That is right. You'll tell
Yeah.
me. I know that eventually. So,
Yeah.
like you said, you want to do a gamut of characters, explore a gamut of emotions while playing those characters. One of your
Hmm.
upcoming films, which I am personally really looking forward to seeing you in, is Pipa. And,
Pipaya.
that's also set, I think, against the backdrop of 1971.
70s, yeah.
Yeah. So, Mrunal, how does it feel, to time travel as an actor?
Wow, I was in the previous interview, I just mentioned that it's so important for us like actors to do the study, like क्योंकि हर era में the way women or men or the society reacted was different.
Hmm.
So for me to study, for me the prep becomes even more easier because in 2020, like Ananya from Tufan is very progressive. She's a 2022 girl, like the kind of person I am.
Right.
So if you will see Ananya, you will see like a lot of bits and pieces jhalke of Mrunal in
Hmm.
it. But when you see Sita, it's a different era altogether.
Hmm.
You will not see anything about Sita. What I do is whenever I do a movie based in the 80s or 90s or 70s or 60s, I find out people who belong to that age or generation, and I watch their interviews. I study their journey as to what was that person thinking when this thing happened. So it allows me as an actor um jot down those characteristics, and it's very important for me to, every character should look different. So 70s may it was a different take, 80s may it was a different take, 90s that was totally different. So if you
Yeah.
will see Ananya from Tufan as compared to Vidya from Jersey, they are two different individuals. You will not find any similarities between both of them
Yeah.
because uh, and I think that's why I'm probably fascinated towards me being a part of films from different eras, because it is not just a challenge, but it is also unique and different. I mean, that's why I'm probably, people when they reach out to me, they say, how did you do this in this character but not in that character, and did this in this particular character? That's like an achievement for me. And I think I'm an old school soul,
Yeah.
uh, and these kind of characters attract me. I think Pipa, at that point of time, I think 2.5 years ago is when I heard the story and I wanted to be a part of this film. And what excited me was my relationship in the film. I'm playing Ishan's sister.
Right.
And I think it's high time for us to break that myth, because a lot of people
Absolutely.
called, a lot of filmmakers, in fact, called me. A lot of people who are associated in filmmaking business, they call me. They're like, "Are you stupid? Are you crazy? Why would you want to play a sister to a younger actor? And you will not be paired against him in the near future. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't play a mother." And I'm like, but the story is good.
Yeah.
But this is what happens, a lot of actresses get misguided because the pitch only comes to them as the mother or the
Yeah.
sister, or and they reject a good story because they feel like they don't want to be seen in that. They feel like unka screen space, screen age bad jayega. But
Right.
I feel like relationships are very important. Like, we're not talking about relationships anymore these days. And there's a beautiful bond. Like, I remember watching Hum Saath Saath Hai, and what a beautiful film between
Right.
siblings, yeah.
Right.
I think, and there are not many films being made where there are like siblings who are so tight. So I think I really wanted to be a part of this film. Also, this is one of the major reason I want to break that stereotype, and it is absolutely okay for you to play sister or a mother, or I don't think these relationships should uh, change the kind of choices, the actresses' choices
True.
in future. Yeah.
Yeah. But for this role, like you said, whenever you play a role that's set in a certain era, you probably check out their interviews of this one person who belongs to that generation. For Pipa, was there somebody who you sort of followed and shadowed?
Yeah, like so many people. I First of all, there are so many people around me, like my relatives, my best friend, their mothers. So for Jersey, I reached out to my friend Malika Jolly,
Yeah, you
who
told me, I
belongs
remember.
Chandigarh. Yeah, and I reached out to her mom and I asked her, Auntie, can you like share some stories with me,
Hmm.
or can you just share your photographs with me? And what was your journey like? What was the decision that you would take if you were in certain situations like these? So for Jersey, it was my mom and Malika's mother that I
Yeah.
closely observed. For Pipa, it's a mix of like my friend and her relative who I met. So it's a combination of couple of people around me, and also a couple of actresses out there. I kind of followed Sharmila Tagore ma'am and Madhubala and Gayatri Devi for Sita.
Yeah, I can completely understand because, Gayatri Devi is known for her, fashion sense at that time. So I can completely
And if
understand
you
that.
see the way she would carry her sari,
Yeah.
uh, you can like that's, I mean, trust me, that was one of the most beautiful journey, the prep of Sita, because I have discovered so many wonderful women out there in India who I'm extremely fond of, and I'm so proud of, you know, for the way they are,
Yeah,
for them
absolutely.
being them. Like, I'm just so thankful.
Right, right. And Runal, lastly, tell me what's the update on Pooja Meri Jaan? What's happening there? Did you start shooting for it? Which sounds very
We
interesting, the
finished.
premise. Oh, you did?
We f- we finished filming the film. We shot
Okay.
it in Delhi, and it was one of the best experiences because every day after pack up, I would just lay on my bed and be so creatively satisfied and just be grateful to God, because I wanted to be a part of a film which would lead that conversation, because it's been a while that whenever I read a script, I relate it with me, and I kind of asked myself so many questions and I did not have answers. And I was like, wow, like I have to find these answers. And while filming, I discovered a new me, and I discovered that whatever happened with me in the past was not okay.
Yeah.
And I was made feel guilty to be in that situation where it's absolutely wrong. So, without spilling much beans on
Yeah.
what Pooja Meri Jaan
Yeah.
is, I would say that Titas, you would, when you will watch the movie, you will be like, oh my God, this is me. This has happened to me. And
Yeah.
why has nobody even spoken about it? Like, you felt guilty because you were, the society has raised us in a certain way. Yes, no matter how much we love our family and friends, but there are times where they are also forced to take those decisions.
Right.
Right now, I may not be making much sense to you because you
No,
don't
no,
know what
I
context I'm
understand where
saying.
you're going. I understand where you're going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I must say, there are a lot of pujas out there who would want, who would be very happy that we made a film like this,
Yeah.
because this is something that we needed to raise an alarm. And uh, this is something really, really like something that exciting that I'm really looking forward to release. As I wish I could release it tomorrow.
So it's very interesting, Mrunal, actually. The way that you have defied that stereotype about female actors not getting along. I mean, you have done films with other female parallel leads, which I think is great. I mean, it should be normal, but unfortunately, it's not. People still talk about it.
Yeah, and I don't know why. In
Yeah.
fact, that day I was talking to some journalist about an actress, and I was just telling that how happy I am, like the films are doing good, and I'm incredibly proud of that actress because I look up to her. I'm talking about Alia Bhatt, and
Okay.
I really look up to her, and she's delivered some fantastic performances, like from Highway to Gangubai to now Brahmastra. And so that person was like, you praising another actress. And I was like, yes. So she's
Hmm.
like, uh, this is not something that I've seen before. Or, and I was like, really? Is this what happens? And I was like, I'm incredibly proud of
Yeah.
Alia, and I look up to her. And she's like, Mrunal, you're not getting my point. I said, well, in that case, I don't want to understand what it is, because I want to speak my mind, and I'm not somebody who would get insecure about others' success. Um, I just felt weird that day. But having said that, it is what it is. So I hope people appreciate people's other work here, because today I think what we need in India is we need to like stand together and bring everyone up, and tell Hollywood also that yes, Indian films are also capable of doing some extraordinary work, which we are,
Right.
and we also deserve that recognition and validation um, on an international platform. So I am extremely proud in the era and the phase that I'm born in, and I'm not insecure enough to not speak about someone's progress and
Right.
someone's achievements.
Well, more power to you. And on that note, thank you so much, Pranal. Hope to see
Thank
you
you.
soon in person.
I know. Let's do this in person real soon.
Okay, bye.